Well, it's been a fantastic day of footy once again. We'll get to that Melbourne victory. They're up off the canvas, but we'll start with the ladder as usual with you, Joey. And we have a new leader, a new ladder leader in Collingwood. I just want you to tell me who's got the biggest percentage of those top 8 sides, mate. If you have a look at the percentage column...
Oh, your Western Bulldogs.
My Western Bulldogs.
Your Western Bulldogs, you and Bevo, flying. Of course, Gold Coast Suns have that game in hand, so obviously they could be top spot, but not for now. But the Pies, well, they deserve to be sitting up there. They've hardly put a foot wrong all year. Brisbane coughed one up today, which we'll touch on, but really it's for the 5th week in a row, Kingy, that the top 8 teams haven't changed.
Do you want to be there? Do you want to be on top of the ladder?
Don't want to be at the top of the ladder at round 10.
Only 2 premiers in the last 10 have been there at round 10.
Oh.
So top of the table, everyone looks at you, everyone studies, picks you apart. I like the guys that make their way slowly.
You reckon it was a calculated loss by Brisbane today?
They could have, but he's a very smart man, Chris Fagan. He's ahead of his time. No, it is what we think is narrowing as a race in terms of winning the thing. But some statements were made this weekend.
It is a discussion. You don't want to be necessarily humming at this time of year because it's just so hard to sustain it, like we saw with Sydney Swans last year, all the way through to the year. But, yeah, not too much change there at the moment.
We're going to have a look at the bottom sides, or is it just the top 8 for now? There's the bottom sides.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you drawing the line, Joey? Where is the...
Probably at 9 for me. I still think Fremantle are good enough. 4 of their next 5 at home. So they can certainly be in the 8 by about the bye. Sydney are maybe the ones now. I mean, I've been...
Don't give up on Carlton.
I've been bullish on Carlton.
Don't give up on them.
Yet,
don't give up on them.
That was disappointing. I'm not sure about the Blues. That was poor. But Sydney are the ones, if they get a few plays back, they could still make a charge, even though it's going to be tough work with sitting where they are 4 and 5.
Bad day for the Saints.
Certainly
Bad day. When you look at the ladder, it's a real kick in the gut.
Percentage tells a big story too, doesn't it? You spoke about percentage. You can see 10 of the teams there, or 8 of those 10 teams with a really poor percentage.
We'll get to Melbourne shortly as well. They're on 16 points. But Kingy, kick us off. Unpack the Western Bulldogs for us.
Well, for me, it's almost the performance of the year. The way that they just dismantled the Essendon Football Club. And, OK, they may not be the best team in the competition, but the way they did it, Bevo's Brawlers have a level of violence about them in contest that others don't have.
Violence.
And can't match. They love it. They love confrontation. They embrace tight spaces. Their inside-to-out handball game is better than anyone's. I think that their ability to step through tackles was evident. We talked about their tackle breakers. And just look at the numbers since Bontempelli has come back into this lineup. Number 1 for clearances, number 1 for centre bounce clearances. The damage is there on the outside. So scoring from those clearances because of the handball game. And I want to get to the exiting from traffic, exiting from stock. This is a massive indicator.
Yep.
Handball exits to score. Are you getting bang for buck? I don't think they've got the world's best forward line, but it ticks over because of the way they bring the ball in and the way they spread the load in there. And there's a shift. And I want you to be aware of the shift because when you look at their numbers, they may not have had the toughest 5 weeks on the charts. They've got a couple of tough ones to come in the next fortnight. If they split them 1-1, I think they'll end up being something like 9 and 5 towards the bye. But I want you to really narrow the focus on these guys. So they've got ball users on the outside. This is their AFL rank since Bontempelli's come back. Don't be confused by Bontempelli. He is now a receive. He can win contest if he wants to, but his first receive, maximum damage Marcus Bontempelli. It's not the guy that has to be on the inside. So Nick Dacos...
tweaked his role.
Yeah, I think they have.
And you think it's the better version of Bont?
This is the best Bont. And he can play forward. He can be different things for the team. They've got enough star factor in the inside. Libba and Fraser are doing the work inside with the big ruckman, who's in really good form. Yep. So they've got enough guys that are able to do it in tight. Bontempelli on the outside is the opposite to what Collingwood have done with Dacos. Dacos has gone from the outside inside and has lost his damage by possession. So I think when you look at Bontempelli inside to out, the red diamond, Ed Richards, our man, the rarest of diamonds. He's a beauty, Joey. He can do a bit of everything. He's the number 1 rated player in the competition this year. So I think beware of the Dogs because they disarm you in a lot of ways. So for me, the Brawlers are back. The handball game is elite and they've got the right pieces in the right places with the best forward in the competition to come back in a few weeks around the bye or post-bye. Sam Darcy and Adam Treloar not long after that. So everyone's relying on health, right? but no one's got a trump card coming back like Sam Darcy. No one.
The handball club is firing. They look like the best engine room in the game, and they bullied their opponents in the Bombers last night. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, they did. They did. I just want to talk on the Bombers, and we talk about their defensive system a lot. This is really good, Joe. They're in good order here. High press, stick to task. A surge kick out of the back line, albeit a long kick. Bombers are really well set. 1v3. West beats him in the air, he beats Caldwell at ground level, and he beats the third incoming. Wow. They're still in really good order. The Dogs are already lined up. Perkins, where are you going? He vacates the area that they wanted to handball back into, doesn't put pressure on, and the others are retreating. So they're not putting pressure on at all. They're not closing space. They're doing nothing. So once you step through that first line of traffic and get the ball to the outside, you're in clear air. So this is why they can't get pressure on. This is why they can't force turnover or force you into panic, because they're retreating defenders and there's big voids, big pockets opening up. So then they just pick their poison. Chip the ball around, Dale turns up, you've got Johannesson turning up, you've got the midfielders rolling forward, the good ball users, and they just pick you apart. So I thought, watching this game, I'm wondering if that's their system, if it's just error on one bad night, if it's just player error. So a couple of Perkins there getting that wrong, Redmond getting that wrong, the retreating defenders getting that wrong. Is it just one or two passages of play they're getting wrong? If this is their system, it is just set up to self-destruct.
It's a handy play by West, and that lateral handball to break that bubble.
Yeah. It happened a lot, though.
Was outstanding. True. You mentioned Marcus Bontempelli. If he's Batman, Ed Richards must be Robin. Or is it the other way around?
Is it the other way around? Well, he's in great form, Ed Richards. There's no doubt about that. I think that Richards is the architect behind their ball movement at the moment. The inside to out game is the hard nuts. But Ed Richards is a take territory guy. I think your mind's eye tells you he's a short lateral ball user.
He's a go-forward.
When you watch him now, he's a go-forward player. So for me, I'm looking at these guys and I'm thinking big challenges in the next couple of weeks. Thursday night's obviously huge. I can't wait to see them against what we all think a top four type team in Geelong. But don't be surprised if their handball game is too strong.
It's going to be the big story this week, the Dogs versus the Cats. Joey, what's your first crack?
Yeah, well, my first crack, I think he's the big story of the year, and for me it is Bailey Smith and what he has done this season, because once again yesterday another 30 disposals, 7 clearances, 10 score involvements, and for the 7th time in the first 10 games he's a chance to poll Brownlow medal votes, and that is the reason why he sits right now the second seed for the Brownlow medal behind Nick Dacos. He's coming second in the race there at the moment in regards to the odds. And he's 4th in the coaches' votes, and he's probably going to get some more again. And I just think when you take a look at his year, the historical start to his season, Jay-Z, is in rarefied air, because his numbers at the moment, his season averages of over 30 disposals, over 10 contested possessions and over 650 metres gained. We've only seen those sorts of numbers from a couple of players. It was Gary Ablett Jr. in 2012 and Patrick Dangerfield in 2016 when he won the Brownlow medal. Ironically, that was also his first year, not sure if you knew that, at Geelong when he won the Brownlow medal that year. But this is what this guy is doing. And I'm just wondering, it's going to be such a mouth-watering contest. Kingy, on Thursday night, you touched about the Dogs and how the midfield are flying. Can this guy be the Western Bulldogs' kryptonite? Him and Max Holmes, the Dash brothers, on the outside, can they challenge the Western Bulldogs' midfield that is the best in the competition? But more so on the field, can Bailey Smith get under their skin during the week? Can Bailey Smith get into their psyche and get into their heads, like we've already seen with some banter, Jay-Z, and some back and forth, and somehow find a way to disrupt the Western Bulldogs side that is airborne? They are humming. But does Bailey Smith have this aura and presence about him that he could actually get into the psyche of Luke Beveridge and the playing group? Because trust me, there's no love lost between Bailey Smith and the Bulldogs players, particularly coming from Bailey Smith's way.
So the niggle's real?
I think the niggle is real. Yeah, my understanding is it's real, and I just wonder whether they can be slightly distracted, this Bulldogs team, by what's going to happen Thursday night, and Bailey Smith might be their kryptonite. Well,
it's amazing you mentioned Danger. So in his first season, as you say, won the Brownlow medal at Geelong, and Bailey Smith could be doing that. To think that the Cats got him for pick 18.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew Mackie, he's having a laugh in that trade period, wasn't he? He would have went to the fax machine with a huge smile, having landed him. It will be must-watch, that game on Thursday night. You'll catch it on Fox Footy.